When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Now, we are on the cusp of our 250th anniversary. We don't boo, because I'll be honest with you, as many challenges and as many mistakes as our country has made, there is one thing that America does better than almost any other country, is that we have the capacity to correct. And sometimes those corrections don't come fast enough. Sometimes they have not come yet. But the beautiful thing about America is that it has the capacity to correct. We cannot.
That's the 250th to me. We the people are pissed. And we're sick of it.
Did you see the song I put up?
What?
I said, did you see the song I put up on the on Trail Mix when I wrote a whole blog about it?
Somewhere.
Yeah, and I did put up a whole blog article about it. Take care of this house.
Now I gotta go find that. Let me see where.
Or you can just click on my blog and pull it up at the bottom.
No, Dexter's here.
Hi, Dexter.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey.
What's the pick for today?
What's the cap? What's today's cap?
Manatee Lagoon, West Palm.
Ooh.
Yeah, you go see manatees there. It's real nice. It's a free. You can get in for free. There's free parking. It's on Riviera Beach there, West Palm Beach.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I was saying there's manatees in Ohio.
Oh no,
That would be kind of cool.
That would be something.
Well, there's. I don't know. It's a crazy world. Alligators and crocodiles have killed people in the last week. So it's
That's
a crazy
true.
world. So you
We
never
had
know.
alligators here
It's
too.
manatee
We had an
lagoon.
alligator here too.
Yeah,
The
it's the end of mating season. They're itchy.
The poor manatees, they get all scarred up with propellers. That's the only bad thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. We used to go swimming with them where I went to college in DeLand,
Has
Florida.
anybody ever gone to the website Calming Manatees?
No.
It's kind of fun. But manatee swims up and kind of gives you cool and calming mottos to live by.
Oh. I need that.
That's what we're talking about here, Jamie. Oh, that's a cool picture of the White House. This is on Jamie's site. Anybody wants to keep up with that? It's at trailmix.cc/Jamie. Now,
The first picture is what Abigail Adams lived with. I thought you would appreciate that.
Yeah.
But no, the song is all the way down at the bottom of that. But it's the different stages of the White House being built and rebuilt. And
Yeah, does Trump know about the War of 1812 at all?
I don't think so.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm glad you reminded me. Howard's already sent me some clip. Extreme Mortman is tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's here Thursday. He is here tomorrow, and his much anticipated the 1812 comedy festival. He's doing.
There's a comedy festival for the.
He's made his comedy fest 1812 War of 1812 comedy festival. All the C-SPAN. He's compiled all the jokes that were made in Congress about the War of 1812 by all the way from like Winston Churchill to King Charles and everybody. All the jokes about it. So only here, the only place you'll get. Oh, look at there. Is that
That's the White House with all of it's the modern White House before Trump took a wrecking ball to it.
Oh my God.
That
Aw,
looks
it was
different.
so beautiful.
The
Yeah.
East Wing does not look like that.
No,
was-
that's
You're
not.
looking at you're thinking of the East Wing from the other view of the other side. I wanted
This is the
one.
back side of the
Yeah,
backside.
It included the Truman balcony and the views of both the East and West Wing.
That actually looks
And-
different to me. There it is now.
Yeah.
Here's after we let dumbass in there. That's what he did to it.
You know, remember when he said he was going to fix Woolman skating rink in New York, and then he didn't do it, and then there was like
Yeah.
some money that was missing, and then it finally got done, and he took credit for it. But like, I think he like just basically ran a grift and ruined everything, and then somehow it got fixed. I don't know. But I think that that's just his MO. He doesn't know how to do anything except just destroy stuff.
Here's the song Jamie put on.
Yeah.
If bandits breaking, sound the alarm. Care for this
nice.
house, shine it by hand, and keep it so clean the glow can be seen all over the land. Be careful at night, check all the doors.
Who is this singing?
Oh,
Someone
it's
takes off with
the
a dream,
character
a
in
dream
1600.
Oh, I see. Kelly O'Hara.
Yeah, but the character doing the singing is Abigail, and she's instructing all of the servants on how to take care of this house. You can see the lyrics right above the
Yeah. What's it
video,
from?
and the lyrics are just beautiful because the house is us. It is the hope of us all.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got a bunch of dirt under the bed and a junk drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's. Did I put yours up here to trail big says.
It's not clean anymore.
Oh, I got something from Amy Schuster. Oh, I got a little note here from one of O'Donnell's producers.
What does she have to
Over at
say?
Last Word. Oh, she was. And I'd already seen it. She was alerting me to this because she knows I'm a big fan of David Blight. Anyway, David Blight. Yeah, okay, backing up here. Let me go get that.
Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson highlighted the legislative history of
Justice Jackson's did a direct hit on Clarence Thomas in those opinions.
Mhm.
I mean, it was just full on body slam. It was great, and then I had just seen where let's see. Rebellious Renee, yeah, here this is is this Clarence thing on there? Is that on the screen? Yeah, and because she was responding to this crap of Clarence's, where the craziest argument about the 14th Amendment I've ever heard, that it was only applied to former enslaved people, does not apply to anybody else. And
What?
and I love this point that in this meme that Rebellious Renee put up, using that same logic, the Second Amendment was written for muskets, so it doesn't apply to AR-15s. Yeah, that's about right. But anyway, David Blight, who's a Yale historian, she quoted him in her opinion yesterday. When I was reading that yesterday afternoon, I thought, God, somebody's got to get him on, because I've seen him on TV before and he's really good. And Lawrence O'Donnell did get him on last night.
Hi, Gregory.
Oh, there's
He's going
Gregory.
into the background
Hi.
here. Then you come up here to Let me get up here where Black comes on, and he kind of explains there he is.
Do we have a lull?
I think Craig's trying to figure
I have
out
that
how
on
to
the
put
screen.
down and put up.
Gotcha.
Oh, shoot. I didn't get him on the screen. Damn it.
You got to take the one down and then put the
I
one
gotta
up.
take the one down. And I swear, I can't understand why I can't just flip back and forth the things that I want to look at. And when I'm tired of one thing, it ought to just know it. Where's AI when you need it? All right. Let's see. All right, we'll remove that one. And then we'll come over here and get Lawrence O'Donnell on here, where he's talking to that guy. And right here, I mean, that you should not have to do all this clicking to move between media assets. It's just crazy. Now I got to get it on the screen. Okay, here we go. All right, this is the guy I was talking about. I was watching it myself and not sharing it. Right.
I already emailed the executive director of the Organization of American Historians, and I said, is there any way we could put Jackson's opinion in the next issue of the Journal of American History? Because frankly, Lawrence, it reads like a historical essay. It is a historical essay. It's deeply researched. She not only quotes from me or quotes Frederick Douglass several times, but 6, 7 other historians, the best historians of Reconstruction. And, you know, it sets up her essential argument, which is,
hey, I agree,
that Section 1 of the 14th, and especially birthright citizenship, is rooted in universalist principles. And she even ends by not only, quoting Douglas, which, by the way, at least 3 of the 9 justices did in today's opinions. Thomas did too, of course. Thomas loves Frederick Douglass for his own peculiar ways. But even Justice Roberts quoted Douglass at the very beginning. But Justice Jackson ended by going to a section in my book. It was so moving to me, I must tell you, where it's 1866. Frederick Douglass is out on the circuit. He's arguing for the 14th Amendment. He's making the case that the country has to get behind this. And he does what he always did. He went to the Old Testament. He went to Genesis. And Justice Jackson quotes the passage from Genesis 18:19, where it's God wrecking holy hell on Sodom and Gomorrah, and there's nothing left.
Oh my God.
It's just all burnt earth. And then he has Abraham, the prophet, overlooking the scene and saying, nations must have memories. Nations must remember this. And of course, the metaphor is Americans have just experienced their civil war, and they're now remaking themselves. Remember as you remake yourselves. That was Jackson going.
Yeah, that's the message. Nations must have memories.
Well, but if they're going to the Bible, then they're going to say, okay, no separation of church and state. So we either get the 14th Amendment or we get separation of church and state based on that.
Well, I actually think they were using it as literature more than history, actually, because that's a literary metaphor.
Right, but they're not going to get that.
This is what they do in those right-wing think tanks. They come up with some kind of justification for whatever it is they want to do. And, they will come up with something, and the Supreme Court will suck this stuff up and use it.
Well, this historian later on says of Clarence Thomas's bullshit that he says it was ideology in search of history. I thought that was a good way to put what was going on. That's how these conservative justices rule. They have their ideology, and then they go in search of justification for it.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys see that yelling match between Jamie Raskin and Lawler yesterday? They were absolutely screaming at each other.
No, I didn't see it. I
It
heard
went on and
about
on.
it.
And finally, the what's her name from Washington? I said PayPal or something like that. She said,
Jayapal?
Yeah, I couldn't say her name. She says, "Mr. Chairman, you've got to end this." She says, "The chairman was just wilting. He couldn't control the session, and they just kept screaming at each other."
Hearing.
And it's really
I'm here
something
today
to
to
see.
introduce Jessica Gorman. Jessica should not be
So they
here
were
today.
introducing somebody. You said that was Lawler?
That guy with the beard,
Mike Lawler.
the Congressman Mike Lawler.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
And Jamie. Yeah.
One of these days, we're going to have a fist fight either in the Senate or the House of Representatives.
It almost happened last night, I think. Yesterday afternoon.
Well, in Massachusetts, we still remember.
But
Remember, there
this
was
nation and this Congress owes you an apology.
Is that
we are sorry to you.
That's
to
it.
Tom,
Is this where they get into
to
it?
Matt.
Yep.
I didn't know Sheridan personally, and that's a tragedy. But I know her family, and I know the Yorktown community.
Where's
I know
the
that
fight?
she was a
When they
Just wait. It's coming.
not long.
done with her life, should she had been given the chance. Her murder was senseless.
What's he
It should not
talking
have
about?
happened.
It was a woman who was
Immigration.
killed by an
Policies
immigrant.
exist for a reason,
He doesn't like
and they
immigrants.
should have been enforced.
Yeah.
And he
Sheridan
singled
would
one
still
out.
be
And
with us today.
then Raskin gets
Jessica
into
would
it.
not have to testify before this
Well, I
panel.
don't see any Raskin here. Where's
Yeah,
Raskin?
he's on the other side.
Oh,
of the
here we
chairman.
go.
May of 2023.
Oh.
Over 3 years ago, Sheridan's murderer illegally entered the United States. Border Patrol caught him. Ashamed of yourself.
Well, this is PBS News. That they said it was Raskin and Lawler, and all they're showing is here we go.
Precisely because you have failed to do your job. You wonder why we had 4 hearings? It's because you don't understand the consequence of sanctuary policy.
Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, we won't give our approval for people to introduce their constituents if people don't
Boy,
stick
this
to
is
the
terrible
rules.
camera
So I
work.
appreciate
They're not
the
showing any
chairman's
of the people who are
insistence
talking.
that we stick to the rules and that you have the opportunity to introduce your constituent, which
Right,
I
and
think you have
introducing
done.
my
So
constituent
thank you very
is-
much, Mr. Lawler and Mr.
is
Chairman.
sharing the
please have
details
committee
of her death.
be in
You may not
order.
want to hear the details.
I still don't
I
see
did.
Raskin in
I
here.
wrote a whole New York Times op-ed about it. You
There
should
is.
be absolutely ashamed in this country.
I do feel that outrage.
You do not.
Do you?
Because
There.
if you did,
Do
you
you
would
feel?
not support
Do you
sanctuary
feel the
jurisdiction.
outrage about
You
Alex
should be
Reddy and
ashamed
Renee
of
Good?
yourself.
You should be
You should be ashamed
You don't
of
belong in this
yourself,
committee. You
Jamie.
should get
Close
the hell
up.
out of here.
Disgrace.
You don't understand the
You're
rules
a
of the committee.
disgrace.
You don't understand the
Why are
Constitution.
they doing this wide shot?
Mr.
You're
Raskin,
an absolute disgrace supporting sanctuary
say one
policies.
word about
Get rid of
say one
sanctuary
word about
policies.
Alex Reddy and
I
Renee
did.
Good.
I wrote a whole New York Times op-ed about it. You should be absolutely
follow the
ashamed of
rules of the
yourself
committee.
for not opposing sanctuary policies that resulted in their daughter's death.
The committee will be in order.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say we will not allow.
Boy, it took PBS 8 minutes to get to the good stuff in that clip.
I thought I was watching Parliament over across the pond.
Right. Yeah. I think that'd be great too. I wish we did that. I wish the president had to go down there and stand in the well and get yelled at. That'd be wonderful.
Well, the other thing they do is they seem to be able to get rid of people real quick.
Oh, because they put in a law. Oh my God.
Oh, 5 prime ministers in 7 years. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they have a law where you can get where you can be ousted from Parliament for lying. So,
and
I think
they have
into that.
Well, they have no free speech in Britain. I mean, that's why
No, they
could make
don't.
it. They could make it back in the IRA days. It was illegal. It was against the law to say IRA's name on television in Britain. You could be put in jail just for saying the name. That's what happens when you don't have a constitution. That's why I've always said, the trouble with that, I think Britain's got to, if they ever get a populist king, like a Trump or something, because he could disband Parliament because they haven't protected themselves against that happening. Why are Americans stupid? That's a good question. D4NNYN. What are you? What are you? Where are you from?
What year was it when Parliament and the royal family decided to have a coexisting government?
Oh, now you talking about, was that the Magna Carta or?
It was
Jamie's our expert on that.
It was a gradual process starting with the Magna Carta.
Well, actually, it started with the Arbroath Declaration in Scotland, but then came the Magna Carta, and finally the separation between the Crown and Parliament.
When was that, though? That final separation?
That's what I was going for. Yeah, the final separation.
Yeah, it was a steady thing. It was after they beheaded Charles I, and when his son Charles II was reinstituted as king. Okay. At that point, Parliament was pretty much in control.
I need to get my history book out. I'm asking some dumb questions, I think.
Well, Brett, the thing is, Brett,
I got that's the regime change.
Yeah.
Oh, you did get it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, you were going to get that
too.
you were going to get that, Jamie.
I just started this, and boy, is it good reading. I mean, literally, I couldn't put it down last night.
Yeah, I just got it a couple of days ago. Hadn't started it yet.
Is it going to do anything though? Is it going to make any noise so that maggots can hear it?
Because maggots won't read it.
Well, no, but I mean, it's going to have to be on TV because they only can.
Every Democratic politician needs to read this book because I think they understand Trump and what he's doing, but when they read this, they'll really understand what he's doing, and they'll be afraid of what he's doing. The Democrats, the establishment Democrats right now, the corporate Democrats, they're not afraid of Trump. They figure, we can deal with that. He'll be out of office soon and things will go back to normal. But that's not what Trump has in mind.
No.
I saw a quote recently. It's time to put the elders out on the ice floe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, here's what he had to say about his $1 billion this morning. They asked him about all the money the $1 billion he's made on crypto scams. He doesn't know anything about it.
Well, I don't get involved in my personal. We have funds that run my money.
But you are benefiting.
Well, I've made a lot of money before I became president, and they invest my money, and I don't talk to them.
You didn't make a lot of money. You stole a lot of money.
Many people, I don't know what they call it, closed accounts or something. You put your money in, and that's it. I don't talk to them. They're big institutions.
What's that $1 billion over there? I didn't know that was there.
You know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up. Everybody's profiting.
Yeah, because you're controlling it.
I know nothing.
How's your 401k done? Got up 85%. Thank you, President Trump. So we're all profiting. I'm profiting because I have a lot of money and a lot of cash.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're all profiting.
Yeah, but
right.
We're not all profiting.
$4 billion of it was earned by stealing from the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Correct.
A lot of people don't invest in the stock market because they don't have that much money to spend in the stock market.
Right.
A lot of people do not have IRAs.
You know who was investing? Who was trading stocks? Was the guy that was from Pennsylvania, the representative? I think he was from Pennsylvania, who's been missing.
Yeah, the guy. No, he's from New Jersey.
New Jersey, and he reappeared, and he said he was suffering from depression, but apparently not enough to keep him from trading stocks because he's made a ton of money while he was there.
Well, I guess you can't see this, Blue, I guess, but he said, I made a lot of money before I became, here's the numbers. I mean, look at those last two columns there. That's since he became president this time. He actually was pretty well controlled in the first term on this stuff, but look at how it just exploded in the last couple of years.
Well, at the beginning, he was just living off of the allowances the bankers he owed money to would allow him to use.
And it all comes from crypto. I mean, look at that. I mean, here's what he's made in the last year or two.
So it's not even real money.
It's $3 billion just from crypto.
He's got 3 billion Chuck E. Cheese coins, as far as I'm concerned.
But there's even more money if you look at Jared and.
This isn't. This
isn't the Trump crime family. No, this is just him.
And also the sons too. I mean, the whole family is out there taking bribes from different countries.
Yeah. And Jared's got 14 deals for rare minerals with different countries. Jared does.
And Jimmy Carter had to sell his seed peanut farm.
Yeah.
But check out the comparison here, because here total, since he became president this last time, he's added $4 billion to his wealth, right? Okay. Now look at what the people who invested, they lost $4 billion. his dumbass supporters who bought his stupid coins have lost as much money as he made.
It's basically money laundering. And it's all it is, all of it.
I mean,
that's what they think that happened with the 250 too.
I mean, that's the number that does not get mentioned when they talk about all the money he's made. They should also talk about how his supporters who thought they were investing in his stupid scheme lost as much money as he made. I mean, he's actually ripped off his own supporters.
And it's funny how it's always equal. It's always equal. It's about equal always. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's things like this that are reducing his support among the MAGA people. I mean, he probably lost a lot of support with those people who lost money on his coins.
You'd think. I've seen some interviewed. Yeah. And then you can see why he made so much money on crypto in this graphic is because you can see sits right here on the right side. This is the fall off in regulations. This is the deregulation of the industry where he's made his $1 billion in the last year is by deregulating this industry. You can see that on the right side, that falling graph. So I mean, the numbers are clear. I mean, but he doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't know that.
But everything is so made up. I mean, look at how long Elon was a trillionaire. Not for very long, and it all just went kaplooey. And it's all made up. Half of this stuff is just made up, and then we are giving no bid contracts to people for nothing, or to be cruel to people. I'm ready for the.
Oh, we got a TDSer in the room. We got a TDSer. Here we go. Here it is. Here's your TDS, Mister. What is his name? J Main. There's your TDS. You the one with TDS. You got Trump I am deranged syndrome. That's what you got.
Oh, shoot.
Never get tired of that one.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot to offer because they don't have facts about anything or understand anything.
I tried to get I wanted to try and get a focus on, Ukraine's winning that war.
The Ukraine war has taken.
They really are. I don't know. It's worth noting.
Russian citizens into unfamiliar territory.
I think they're taking back Crimea.
Last week, Ukraine unleashed an unprecedented attack against Moscow. Residents saw drones racing over their heads.
I mean, this is Moscow. I mean, there are people in Moscow.
The major oil refinery on the outskirts of the city was targeted repeatedly.
Unlike Russia, they go after. Energy, not people.
But would Putin be? Would it be he be Netanyahu or Trumpy enough to use a nuke? Because I know the old guys would use a nuke in a second if they could get away with it.
I think the thing that keeps him and others from using nukes is they'd die too, and he doesn't want to die. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I mean, that's the thing.
Well, yeah, but I think he could use a nuke in Ukraine, and I don't think NATO would do anything about it. They just sit back and wring their hands, but they wouldn't do anything. And I think Putin, if he feels desperate, I've read that there are people in Russia who want to get rid of Putin. They want to replace him among the oligarchs.
Yeah, there's definitely some he's got some real concern. Here's Channel 4 talking about Crimea.
What's happening in Crimea is really interesting, isn't it? Because they are effectively cutting it off. Fuel shortages, fuel rationing.
The most extraordinary paradox about the Russian war effort is that you've got that sort of awful lumpen, ex-con, drunken contract soldier stumbling to a near certain death. And then you do have people in that system, particularly in the officers and the defense industry, who are smart cookies.
What Ukrainians will always tell you is that whenever we do anything, the Russians then catch up. It's cat and mouse.
Is it possible that the Ukrainians think they can get Crimea back? And what would that blow mean to Vladimir Putin in Moscow?
I mean, I have to go to European news to get coverage of this. It's happening. I mean, Ukraine is on a roll.
There was a time when CNN covered international. Now it's barely a mention.
I don't know why it's so hard to find.
Al Jazeera. I never thought I'd want to go to Al Jazeera for anything, but yeah.
They actually do a pretty good job. Did I tell you what? I worked for Al Jazeera for about 6 months and didn't know it.
You did.
I worked for that channel where Oberman went. I went with Oberman to that channel that channel that Al Gore started.
Oh,
with the Hyatt family. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh,
and anyway. I was working for it, and going on there. Oberman had a show, and Elliot Spitzer had a show, and I was going on there. Elliot Spitzer and I got to be big buddies. He had a show. Current. That's what it was called. Current. Anyway, after a while, I discovered that Al Jazeera and the Cutter, they had bought it from Al Gore. I was working for Al Jazeera, and I had no idea.
Al Jazeera, Al Gore, potato.
By the way, Al Gore is all over this, that American experiment show. It makes me kind of miss him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always think I miss him, and then he starts talking, and I just get so bored.
If you know what, I need to see if he's done any books on tape.
I have a friend.
And then
I have a friend who was a political Mudcat. You all know Mudcat.
Yeah.
And Mudcat was a big buddy of Ted Kennedy's, and Ted Kennedy would always bring Mudcat to like private gatherings they had with Democrats to have strategy sessions. And anyway, so they had one of their retreats, and Al Gore had been invited to speak about climate change, and Kennedy and Mudcat were in the back of the room. And after about 10 minutes of Al Gore, Kennedy nudges him with his elbow and says, "Let's go outside." And they go outside. He says, "I can't stand to hear any more of that bullshit."
There's your history of Current on the right.
Oh boy, you got the whole Current story. Yeah, it was quite a story. That was
good. We had Al Jazeera on our cable TV for a long time, and then one day it just went away. They took it off.
They're online. They have a lot of stuff online.
Yeah, they pop up on Google News all the time.
Well, I didn't think. Why is that there? What is that? Oh, that's that. I hadn't removed that. Oh, okay. I didn't think we'd see this. How's this for a bumper sticker? Somebody in Louisiana sent me this.
I mean,
I never thought we'd see that. Somebody putting that on their car.
What would JC do, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He would end that war the first day. That's what he would do. That first day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he could have done everything Trump's doing and gotten all the hostages killed instead of getting them home alive. I mean, that was Carter's sin. He brought the hostages home alive.
Yeah.
He could have bombed Iran, gotten them killed, and been a big hero, I guess. I guess that's how MAGA would do it.
But remember when Billy Carter and Roger Clinton were like the big scandals? That was
yeah.
the good old
Yeah.
days.
And all Billy did was start a beer company, you know, and he got some investors from Saudi Arabia or something in his beer company. I forget.
Billy beer. I drank a few Billy beers.
There was Hillary's brother. I mean, they all seem so tiny and petty now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger. That was Roger.
Yeah.
Right? No, that was Clinton's brother. Roger was Clinton.
Yeah, he was the one that played the saxophone.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Jamie. I forgot about Hillary's kooky brother.
Yeah,
Well, and
Hillary
Nixon
had a
had a
kooky
kooky brother, too.
Rodham. Yeah.
You know, there's always the chosen child in a family, and then the second born is usually they let them go wild. That's why we run into, like, you know, I mean, look at King Henry VIII. He was the second born. He wasn't supposed to be king.
Well, that's why you and me are in good shape, Katie. We're only children. We were everything.
Woohoo!
The sun, the
We
moon,
got everything.
We got everything. Except I used to say, people say, "Oh, you're so lucky you don't have brothers and sisters." I say, "Yeah, but I had to do the dishes every night. I didn't have anybody to help."
Yeah.
And actually, I was an only child until I got stepbrothers.
And
So I got to experience both, and I'd rather be an only child.
And technically, I'm an only child, but then my parents had more children, but I never lived with them except for one for like a year. So my grandparents raised me, so I was like an only child. But then they had older children, my mom and my dad and my aunt. So I was also like a middle child. So I'm like an only child, a middle child, a youngest child.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
I was an only child and then acquired two stepsisters, one of whom died of polio. But basically, the reason I went to 21 schools in 12 years is nobody knew where to plant me out of the way.
Oh, gosh. But it gave you quite a variety of experiences.
Oh, yeah. I'm the most adaptable person on the face of the earth.
21 schools?
Yeah.
Wow. That's something. Back to Ukraine. Here's the Finland president talking about it on one of the European channels. Well, no, actually, this is actually Politico Europe. That's the only place.
There's a Politico Europe?
Oh yeah, they got it. Well, actually, it's owned by the Germans. The Politico is owned by Germans. Anyway, here we
point
go.
is that Ukraine is in a much better place politically, militarily, and economically than they have been at any time during this war. Militarily, hands down, over the past 6 months, Ukraine has been on top. Basically, 35,000 Russian soldiers dead or wounded per month. They're not able to recruit over that. More Ukrainian drones and missiles flying into Russia than the other way around. And of course, Ukraine successfully hitting strategic targets in both St. Petersburg and in Moscow, incapacitating about 40% of the oil refineries in Russia. So militarily, Ukraine is in a better place. And I don't mean to sound morbid, but the killing ratio now is 1-8. So 1 Ukrainian soldier for 8 Russian soldiers.
Man, that's what you call losing a war. That is
astounding. That statistic is amazing.
Isn't it?
35,000 a month?
Yeah.
How could I know Russia's big, but it ain't that damn big.
Oh, they're at over 1 million, well over 1 million. And the thing about it is, most of it comes from his base, Putin's base. Putin's base is rural. If we're up to the Moscow and St. Petersburg, the city dwellers, they'd have revolted a long time ago. But the rurals are his base, and so that's where you go on, Katie. So long, and so that's where he's costing the lives. It's the mothers in his base, and so it's got to be taking. There is a lot of talk that he's losing support, but I don't know how that manifests itself in any reasonable way, significant way.
Well, I think of 35,000, that's like an average baseball crowd, and they're losing that many every month. That's just astounding. 1-to-8 ratio. Well, who's winning the war then? Look who's winning the war.
And the thing that was so dumb, and I thought this in the beginning, and this is true generally of how Trump wants to just pull out of Europe, is that we lose all our leverage. I mean, Trump has no leverage over the situation in Ukraine now because he's pulled out. And so Europe's calling the shots, and hell, France is doing 60% of the intel for Ukraine now. We're just not involved. So because we're not involved, he has no leverage over, and Putin's got to realize that Trump can't help him in the Ukraine anymore. He's already done all he could do is pull out, and Europe stepped up, and they're keeping Ukraine afloat. So we have no leverage in the situation.
The techniques of war have changed also. I mean, it's a drone warfare now. But what the Russians discovered is that their tanks are useless. They get wiped out by drones. So
yeah,
and I've read Ukraine now has the best drone technology in the world.
Yeah, they do.
Engineers, and they're doing things with drones that nobody else is doing, and all the other militaries in the world are studying what the Ukrainians are doing with drones. They've totally changed warfare, and it's going to change the U.S. military. I mean, the Strait of Hormuz is a good example. I mean, the aircraft carriers, they can't do very much,
And battleships they're not a factor anymore, not for 30 years.
And that's what Trump is asking for all the money to build.
And they've been obsolete for 36 years. They haven't used them since 1990.
He wants to invest in a whole new class of battleship, which is going to be called, guess what? The Trump class of battleships.
They sink immediately when they hit water.
Yeah.
They only survive in dry dock.
Trump wants to offshore the production. He wants Navy ships to be built in other countries, which is the stupidest thing I have ever heard because of the security situation. Any spy can sneak into the shipyard and plant things aboard that ship, tracking devices, explosive devices, and we would have no control over it whatsoever.
Well, it's just like the
stuff you're getting from Trump and his people in the Department of Defense.
Yeah. We are, however, apparently building a base near Gaza. Why? Why are we doing that?
They're gonna level it and rebuild it under Trump's orders.
But why is there going to be a U.S. Why is there going to be a U.S. military base there?
Why is there one in Baghdad, that giant palace? Because they want to control the area still.
Well, somebody's got to protect Trump's hotel developments.
That's what I'm saying.
Hotels.
He's going to level it and rebuild it. That's Jared's. That
will never happen. The Israelis are never going to let.
They're never going to let it. It's bullshit. They're never going to let it happen. You're right, Nash. It's just stupid.
But what about Section 622 of the Senate intelligence bill wanting to integrate, have more sharing of intelligence?
Merge. I think the word is merge.
Merge is. I was trying not to use that word, but yeah. So section.
I say use it.
And the former Section 224, which is now Section 219 for some reason, of the National Defense Act. They're trying to merge us. Physically, cyber, military, intel, all of it, and
basically just make Israel part of the Defense Department.
Yeah, and they want a single executive that to be chosen by the Secretary of War. Yeah, whoever he's told to pick, to be a single executive in the Pentagon to coordinate all of it.
Yeah, well, the Israelis are never going to give us everything they've got. We can give them everything we've got, but they're not going to give us everything they got.
Oh, yeah. That Section 622 in the Senate Intelligence Bill, it says that no future president can dial this back and withhold intelligence. Within 15 days, they would have to go before Congress and get Congress's approval, which is why you've got so many people in Congress who are taking AIPAC donations.
Agenda.
I mean, it's all tied up together.
We got to talk about this Colorado race. The socialist Democrats had a big win.
Oh man, my man Bennett got beat badly, and I
was surprised by that. I did not like coming. But that's what's happening. These challengers from the left are throwing out the old school Democrats.
These young people like
she's been alive as long as the other one was in Congress.
Yep.
Right. And I think I pulled their closing ads. I always like to see on election nights. So here were their closing ads, and I think you can see the difference. I mean, the first one here is the incumbent who lost last night, and very conventional stuff. And I think a big mistake, she did not talk to camera herself. And anyway, then you see the challenger who won. Very different ads, very, very different messages too, but also the look of the ads.
That's job number one. I'm Diana DeGette. In Congress, I'm fighting to defend our democracy, protect abortion rights, lower the cost of housing and groceries, and pass Medicare for all, so every Colorado family has affordable health care. I'll never stop fighting the corruption, cruelty, and dangerous behavior of extreme Republicans.
See, that's just such a conventional ad, and you never see her, just still shots of the candidate. I don't like ads like that, and just a lot of pablum really. And now listen to
this message because our democracy is worth fighting for.
I'm Maylot Kuros. I'm a lawyer, an immigrant raised in Denver, and I'm running for Congress because establishment Democrats have failed us. Diana DeGette has been in office for decades, backed by the same billionaires and corporations who keep our prices high, burn our planet, and profit from genocide. It's time for a change. It's time for Medicare for all. It's time to abolish ICE and to actually fight back against Donald Trump. I'm Maylot Kuros, and I approve this message.
They're saying
I like an ad at a bar.
They're saying that DeGette should have retired because she's 68 years old. Do you agree with that? Just because she was 68 years old?
I think that not her age, but the length of time in Congress. Yes,
I think she had 12 terms or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's where we're headed.
Young voters don't trust old Democrats. Young Democrats don't trust the old Democrats anymore. They think they're all corporate, they're all corrupt, and they don't want anything to do with them. And they're voting for Democratic socialists.
Well, they can't afford a house. They can't afford school. Their school loans are like outrageous. They didn't get forgiven. And it's even worse now. Now, instead of waiting to start paying your school loans after you've graduated or after you drop out or whatever, now as soon as you take out that loan, it starts earning interest. You have to start. It's accruing interest.
It's not just how we talk so much about houses, which we should, but I keep focusing on the stats on cars because that's part of the American dream. And a relative of ours, he in his late 20s, early 30s, I think, just got a new car. And I just said, if you don't mind, what's your car pay? It's almost $1,000 a month.
The average is over $700 a month.
But there's two things about that. The last generation, what are we calling them? Gen Z. They don't want to drive. They would prefer doing ride shares and public transportation.
Because they don't have a choice. They can't buy a
But they're
car.
not even bothering to learn to drive, and that was like they just like they like being chauffeured around.
Well, that depends on where you live.
So that's the other thing.
They don't want to live in suburbs anymore. They want to live in the cities.
Yeah.
And here's the other problem.
Have to.
And here's the other problem is they are putting so much tech on cars now that basically it's a surveillance thing and it's a monetization thing. You want you're going to have to pay extra for your heated seats. You're going to have to pay extra for this. You're going to have to pay extra for that. It's all like add-ons. It's crazy.
More stuff to break down. And
more
you're
stuff
right.
to break down, and
you're better off buying an older car.
So if you do something wrong and you don't have enough social credits, guess what? We're gonna not allow you to leave the state. We're gonna put a kill switch. So you go across a certain border, you're done. You can't cross. or you can't start your car
and
at all.
They don't make cars that people can afford like they used to. 'Cause one stat I looked up is back in 2017, there were almost 40 cars on the market that were under $25,000. Now there are only 7.
Nissan Versa. But I'll tell you,
really you can't buy a car on a middle income.
When you buy a new car,
that's a big part of the American dream. We keep talking about homes, and homes are a big part, but I just think we ought to talk more about cars. Democrats ought to be talking about how cars have become unaffordable.
The American dream has changed.
You are tethered to a dealership when you buy a new car. You can't go to Joe down the street, the mechanic, or in my case, I got a mechanic 0.6 of a mile from me who comes and gets my car to service and brings it back. When you buy a new car, you are tethered to the dealership, and they can do whatever they want with you. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, that gets back to what Blue was saying about the technology. Is the dealers are the only ones? They're the only ones who get the software updates to service the computers on cars. I mean, a mechanic I knew told me about that. A mechanic I knew told me that that he's going out of business because he can't get the manufacturers will not give him the soft. He knows how to use the computers to maintain the car, but he can't get the software updates.
He can get it, but he's got to pay
to do the job.
He can't even get it. He says
he said the dealers, no matter what he pays them, the dealers get the software updates about 6 months before he does. So they're just putting those guys out of business now.
Well, it's all tied in with the guarantees too. I mean, warranties. You can't get warranty work done except anywhere but the dealerships.
And that's a problem I had with the cash for clunkers thing that Obama did, because my friend's son was actually a mechanic, and I was like, well, they're just going to have a lot of extra old cars on the road. She's like, no, because they are forced to pour something into the engine to make the engine seize up so that it's nothing.
That's right.
And it's going to the junkyard. And it's like, what a waste. So now there's like a lot fewer cars on the road that have no tech in them. It's almost like it was manufactured. I won't say that it is, but it was almost manufactured to put a new class of car on and force people into a car that had more doodads and electronics and the stuff on it.
And then there's my 27-year-old car that only has 60,000 miles on it.
How much you want for
it? I do have a mechanic.
You sound like me. I've got a 2012 and it's got 34,000 on it.
Yeah, that's about it. Ours is 2007, and we've got less than 30,000 miles.
Yeah,
well, we actually have to go out and turn the engine on. We have to idle the engine every couple of weeks to keep the battery from going dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still driving my 2001 Ford F-150 and a 2008 Honda Odyssey is what I drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a 1999 Chevy Cavalier, and she just purrs along, going where I want to go.
Yep. So,
how's Tacoma traffic, Jamie? Is that pretty strong, pretty heavy traffic most of the time?
Actually, no, it's really quite moderate, except that we do still have hours during the day when it's busy, but the rest
not
of the
like
time,
Los Angeles, huh?
Oh God, no, nothing like. We don't run parking lots on freeways.
Hey, you know what it costs to park at SoFi Stadium for an event? $120.
Wow. Oh my gosh!
When I used to live in Northern Maine,
Tacoma is like an old suburban town. It's really quite nice. It's changing, of course, but yeah, we have an actual downtown area. We have an actual mall area.
Cool.
It's quite a nice place to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great parks.
Food break. It's July.
Oh my.
A food break.
First thing I do in July is I start making my homemade barbecue sauce.
The other
rabbit.
Questionable confidence.
Just about any lazy man sauce starts with soy sauce, which is why I get enough to fill a lawnmower. And vinegar or acid. Garlic makes us cry. Ginger makes us whisper. This will give you guests sweet dreams. Be careful, or this might give them nightmares.
Oh my God.
That looks great.
It's hot outside. Get yourself hotter inside.
That's how you cool down.
Oh my gosh, that was a lot of hot sauce.
Yeah,
that's being funny again.
Oh, Angry being funny again. Angry. What's Angry doing? Let's see. Oh, I never did get our full screen. That's Lazy Man Cooks cooking channel. I got over 300 cooking videos there, and I have a whole series of barbecuing. Easy.
Have you ever tried
tips.
sweet soy sauce?
I have not. Sweet soy sauce.
Oh,
no.
Sweet soy sauce is just so good.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Huh.
The only thing missing was the cooking sherry.
I like to get my soy sauce as big as a gas can because I use a lot of it.
Sounds like what my son does with the slow cooker. He just throws a pot roast in there with a bunch of veggies and, puts up his sauce and throws it in. And
I got a whole series on Lazy Man Cooks of slow cooker, my tribute to slow cookers, and also the clay pot. I love clay pots also.
What about Worcestershire sauce? Does anybody use that anymore?
Oh yeah,
I use
sure.
It.
Yeah.
Don't hear much talk
as
about
you
it.
can learn to pronounce it.
I mangle it every time. Now you can't see this, Blue, but you had talked about it yesterday. This guy at the fair. We can't go without one shot at the fair. And here's this guy. He was performing. This is what this is from the official website of the fair. And see, this looks like a good time partying. And then somebody had the sense to look at the guy's sunglasses, and you can look in here and see there's nobody watching them. That is just
and that was on a weekend.
That was such a great one. I love that. That was a great catch somebody made there.
Yeah. But they I think it was on X, they were showing some AI thing, and there were just like streams of people, but it was like it was all like almost like they were in a row. It was almost too lined up. It looked so fake. And it was like, okay. Everything else I've seen is like, there's just, people just aren't there. They don't have the money. They have no desire to go. And it's just, yeah.
Well, I've been wanting to go just to make fun of it, but there's so many other people doing such a good job that I just haven't felt I'm needed. And listen to this. I thought this was really clever. This guy walks around pretending that there's a big crowd there. Listen to this.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I gotta squeeze through.
I gotta squeeze through. he did a whole series of TikToks pretending that he was squeezing through the crowd there.
When's the rodeo gonna happen? Is that over yet?
Oh, it's there. They've had it. It's there.
They said that there were just a couple of horses there just running around, just trotting around wild. So but the Confederate flag from the North Carolina tent went away. So Mount Olive pickles are there in North Carolina. They said they're not going to have anything to do with it because that Confederate flag went up, and they're based in North Carolina. And but apparently it's a third party that actually put those tents up. So I would love to know who put that Confederate flag up in North Carolina.
Well, they must know because there was a private company because North Carolina officially didn't participate, so they got some private outfit to do it.
Yeah, so I would love to know who did that, but
so they should know, I would think.
Yeah.
Well, on the gossip front, it's official. Kelsey and Taylor Swift are getting married this weekend.
At Madison Square Garden.
At Madison Square Garden, or
1,100 people are invited.
The rehearsal is 100 people for tomorrow, and then who knows how many they've.
Well, they said 1,000. They said
for the
1,000
wedding.
for the
1,100 is what I heard.
1,100. So,
all right, going to wind up with 1776 again. Echoes of America over on Substack. I appreciate your comments, Nash, on my articles over there. I hadn't gotten back to respond to them yet, but Nash.
This was a really great Echoes of America today. I really loved that one.
Yes, it was wonderful.
And I've got and I got to apologize to Blue. I don't know how many buckets or gallons of water I used up on that one. But I have learned. I'm learning how to make movies with because you could plot your scenes and say I want this scene and that scene and this scene, and you can direct the movie. So that's what I've started doing with these.
So these are AI generated videos.
Yeah, I mean I write the script myself, and then I create a script. I mean, a direct, like storyboard. And I'll say, I want a hand with a quill shaking and he drops the quill. And then I want a close up of this guy with a scarf on his face. You just kind of, and then you tell it, you the more specific, the better results you get. And that's what I did with this. So every scene of this I designed and then gave it to AI to create, and so that's what this is. Oh, what do we have here? Tom B.
Oh, yeah. Another delusional.
Okay, well, how about getting over on trailmix.cc there, Tom, and tell us why? Because I always want to know. I'd like to know.
There's nothing to back that up. That's just
just come over here, right here. After we're done here. Go over to trailmix.cc. It's easy to sign up and comment. You don't even have to sign up, really. You can give me a fake name and make up an email address. Hell, you don't even have to give me an email address. But you have to fill out a CAPTCHA, which is 3 numbers. So that's all it takes. Get over there and tell us why you're so happy he's president. I'd like to know. We'd like to have that discussion. All right, back to 1770. This is Caesar Rodney, unsung hero. They talk about Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. I think this is a more important one, really, in the long run. 150 years ago tonight, a desperate midnight dash through a brutal thunderstorm saved the Declaration of Independence. On July 1st, 1776, the vote for America was stalling. Delaware's 3-man delegation was completely deadlocked. One vote yes, one vote no. Without a unanimous front, the rebellion was dead on arrival. The tiebreaker belonged to Brigadier General Caesar Rodney, who was at home in Dover with a painful, agonizing ulcer on his face. When a frantic message arrived, Rodney mounted his horse and rode straight into the Black Knight. Rodney's advancing facial cancer made every jolt of the saddle pure torture. On the afternoon of July 2nd, he slammed open the State House doors, covered in dried mud, soaked to the skin, and gasping for air, he cast the vote that swung Delaware into the yes column. History doesn't fade, it echoes. Hit subscribe to follow the countdown to July 4th.